Hello fellow car guys and enthusiasts. Yes, I've heard it. You have nothing car related to watch on Christmas. That's why I'm making this Christmas special, a winter tour in Pasul Gutai. So Merry Christmas. I hope you'll enjoy it. To me, Pasul Gutai starts in Mara, Păstrăvăria Alex or whatever that thing is called. From there you have a left turn that you can take with about 70 kilometers an hour, and you can pretty much go right to the first left hand corner with 70 kilometers an hour safely. Here I usually downshift into third gear and go 60 kilometers an hour. From here on up to about 70 in third gear, and comes this right hand turn that leads into a left hand turn. I usually cut this straight through, but you need to pay attention to cars coming in the other lane. From here on you can keep 70 kilometers an hour, no problem. This is a really good part because you can go 90 kilometers an hour or even faster. And watch out, because here comes a pretty hard left turn where you need to decelerate to 60 kilometers an hour. After that comes a right hand turn where I usually downshift to third gear. From here on, 70 kilometers an hour is a safe speed. Here's going to be a right hand turn that you can take easily with 70 kilometers an hour, and after that comes a pretty straight portion up the hill. On this portion you can go as fast as your car can take you, but watch out, at the end you need to decelerate to about 60 kilometers an hour so you can take the right hand turn. Here I usually downshift into third gear and go 60, 70 or 80 kilometers an hour into third gear, because I'm lazy to shift up into fourth gear and then shift down into third gear again. But anyway, you can safely do this portion by going 60 kilometers an hour. By the way, try not to cut these blind corners. Too bad this road isn't closed. By the way, it's really fun to just roll down in fourth gear, only using engine braking. I'm referring to when you're coming from the other direction. And here comes the first 180-degree corner to the right, where you need to decelerate to about 30 kilometers an hour. Here comes another fun portion with tiny bends. You can go as fast as your car can take you, but watch out, because at the end you will need to slow down, because there's a right hand corner after which comes a 180-degree left hand corner where you need to slow down to 30 kilometers an hour. So here I usually downshift into second gear. And after this corner comes a pretty chill right-hander, and after that it's a kind of straight portion that leads into this 180-degree left-hander again. So here comes the corner I was talking about, this left-hander that's pretty hard. I usually shift down into second gear. After that I accelerate as much as I can, because here comes this pretty straight portion. And from here on 70 or 80 kilometers an hour until I reach the other really dangerous right-hander that is 180 degrees, and you need to shift down into second gear. You need to take it with around 40 kilometers an hour. So here comes this right-hander that's really dangerous because you have speed and you don't expect this 180-degree corner. After that there are these pretty chill turns that you can easily take with 70 kilometers an hour safely. Obviously there is this piece of shit smoking in front of me that makes a TDI meeting look like a bad joke. Luck was on my side this time, because he was beginning to slow down and stop, and I just went around him. I guess his turbo blew up or something like that. Now back to our chill turns that you can pretty easily take with 70 kilometers an hour. I usually go that fast, because there are a few portions where you should slow down to 60. But at the end of this portion there's going to be a pretty bad left-hander where you need to slow down to 30 kilometers an hour and shift down into second gear. Yeah, ice on the road right in the corner. Perfect. So soon arriving to that left-hander that I was talking about. So as usual, downshift into second gear and go 30 or 40 kilometers an hour. Accelerating hard out of the corner! Here comes this pretty straight portion with a few light corners. And going up pretty hard. I think I'm in fourth gear and accelerating like crazy, because these corners can be taken easily with 70 or 80 kilometers an hour. But at the end there's another right-hander 180 degrees. Watch out for that. So here it comes, downshift and hard on the brakes. And hard on the accelerator while you go out of the corner, and after that don't shift into fourth gear, just keep it into third gear. Here comes the portion where you can turn to your right and get to Izvoare. But on the other hand, I do like how wide the road is and you can cut corners pretty easily. Really illegal, by the way. I usually shift down into third gear for this corner, because after that comes this other corner that's going to be a left-hander 180 degrees where you need to slow down to 30 kilometers an hour. Here it comes, pretty hard left turn. Hard on the accelerator out of this corner. So around here I usually cruise with about 70 kilometers an hour, because with that speed you can pretty much safely do this part. Maybe sometimes you should slow down to 60-ish. Another few left and right handers. I didn't go really fast here because it seemed like it was snowing and it was ice on the road anyway. Now here comes the interesting part where you can accelerate as much as you want to. Here comes a straight part where you go uphill, 2 lanes, and after that comes a pretty hard right-hander. I usually decelerate to 50 kilometers an hour, and you're on top of the mountain, by the way. So from here to the left you can go on foot to Creasta Cocoșului, and on the right you will have Hanulu Pintea. So there on the map you can see the inn, and after this straight portion comes a really hard downhill portion with a lot of 180-degree turns. So here comes the first right-hander. This is a 180-degree turn where you need to slow down to about 30 kilometers an hour to take it safely, and after that comes a portion where you can go 50 to 70 kilometers an hour, but unfortunately I thought there is black ice on the road, so I went slower. So here's this left-hander that isn't that bad. But after that comes a pretty straight portion, after which comes another 180-degree turn to the right. So this portion isn't really that bad, but at the end of this one there's going to be a really elusive right-hander. Problem with that turn is that you have pretty high speed, and after that you need to slow down or you will end up in the other lane. Here comes this right-hand turn. Unfortunately the road is pretty narrow and you don't really have where to cut the corner, and it is really elusive. So here comes another 180-degree left-hander where I usually shift down into second gear and after that accelerate pretty hard out of the corner. This next corner is also pretty elusive because you can go faster than you might think. But don't overdo it, that's my advice, especially in this type of weather. From here on I usually go 70-ish kilometers an hour, because there's going to be another right-hand turn at the end of this portion. Here comes the other right-hander where you will need to shift down into second gear and go 30-ish kilometers an hour. Some of these turns are really bad because the height difference between the upper and lower road is pretty high. And on this portion I usually keep it in third gear and go 70, maybe 80-ish kilometers an hour and slow down in the corners. By the way, we're almost arriving into the slalom part. But first, here again we have a pretty hard left-hand corner that you need to take with 30-ish kilometers an hour. Now slowly arriving into this pretty wide right-hander, where I usually also slow down to 40-ish kilometers an hour, even though you can go much faster. And if I'm remembering it correctly, this is pretty much the slalom portion. It's a soft right-hander, after that a soft left-hander, after which comes a other right-hander which leads into a pretty hard left-hander. Here you slow down and downshift into second gear again. So here's another hard left-hander, as usual, downshift into second gear. And pretty much now I'm entering the slalom portion. So this part is going to be right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, left-hander, if I remember it correctly. The top speed here, I don't know if I ever exceeded 50 or 60 kilometers an hour, because I had to upshift and downshift and upshift and downshift again. If I remember correctly, this portion is going to be pretty chill. You can even go to as far as 70, 80 or even 90 kilometers an hour, but you will need to slow down in the corners. Actually, for what I care, go as fast as your car can take you. I'm usually doing this portion into third gear. just so I have some engine braking in case of emergency. I can slow down safely. Again, a pretty hard left-hander where I usually shift down into second gear and take it with 50 or 40 maybe kilometers an hour. After this comes a pretty nice portion, and you're going to have another right hand turn 180 degrees where you will need to slow down. So here comes the long and wide right-hander, which leads into a pretty good left-hander. You can go 60 or 70 in these turns. And this portion is going to be pretty chill, although at the end of this one is going to be a left-hander that's going to be 180 degrees where you will need to slow down to 30 kilometers an hour. And here comes the last right hand turn and the intersection to Mogosha, and I consider this pretty much the end of Pasul Gutai. So one last downshift into second gear, accelerate hard out of the corner, and this is it. So here we have an overview of Pasul Gutai. What do you guys think? Do you think you have what it takes to do a good lap of this road? Or you would just like to take a tour and admire the beauty of the nature that surrounds this path? By the way, this is my favorite route to take, so leave a comment, what do you think about it? Have a Merry Christmas and drive safe. And for a free out.